Hey, hello, and welcome to Gaze of Our Lives. Like dice through the dice tower, these are the gaze of our lives. We are a group of therapists, educators, and spiritual leaders playing queer tabletop RPGs in order to embrace our identities, build community, and share the magic of playing queer games with queer people. Gaze of Our Lives streams every other Sunday from 4 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will play gear game. Sorry. We will play queer games with queer characters and then talk about our experiences. Do you want to know how to use games to build space for your queer clients? Check us out as we discuss how each game can benefit the queer communities that we work with. So we have a few announcements before we start. Next Friday, or this coming Friday, the 26th, we are gonna the Friday night cast will be back with Yale Capades. Will Lexa and Riley be honest with each other, and will they go to Shaky Shack together? Will Jelly figure out where his dad is? Will Calvin be able to navigate both Lashes and Eliza? And will we learn if Roberts is really an ally or not? Tune at Tune in at 9:30 Eastern every Friday to find out. And on the 28th of November, Ghoul, Gaze of Our Lives, will be live with the final episode of Grand Guignol. We'll be finishing our story during the first half of the stream, and the debrief will happen afterwards. Tune in to watch how Grand Guignol resolves. Maybe a special guest will be joining us. Uh, we recently got access to the second edition of Grand Guignol. The play kit changes include allowing setting elements to create more of a structural analysis, playbook refinements across all playbooks, updated relationship questions, and updates to the stream, updates to the gate and the hunter playbooks, and a new playbook, the patron. And we are very thankful to Luke with Wildwood Games. Keep an eye out for Possum Creek Games for more on edition 2 of Grand Guignol. And we will put a link to edition 1 into the chat.
Already done.
Already done. Wow, we're on it. Look at us. We're getting all professional and shit stuff. Here's what you missed last session. We caught up with our players: Persephone the Gate, Kavi the Scholar, and Ezra the Beast, Baco the Hunter. In our London, filled with thick mist, the sound of industrial looms, secret lanes, taverns and theaters, and dens of vices. We found our group. The scenes began in Baco's home, where Kavi sees an unopened letter and persuades Baco to open it and read its contents. Baco learns that Zir Uncle went on an adventure, and then Zir Uncle shows up. We switch to a scene with Ezra and Persephone at the Queen's Head Tavern, where there is drinking and deep conversation about their connection. We return back to a scene with Baco and Kavi, where they retrieve a book from Baco's uncle and watch him die. His eyes suddenly glow, and he stands up and jumps out the window. Kavi learns that these beasts are growing in numbers and things are getting more dangerous. Find out what happens next in this episode. So now we will do our hello to player and player character. So, who would like to start?
I can go first.
Excellent.
Okay, so hi, I am Jessie. I am a licensed.
Jesse.
Hey, Jessie.
Hi, Jessie.
I'm a licensed professional counselor in Chicago. I work in private practice with a wide range of clientele, and I also do some health equity work on the side. And then I am playing Baco, who is in the Hunter playbook for this game, and they are, what we're going to figure out today.
Hi, Baco.
Hi, Baco.
Hello, Baco.
Hello, I'm Tennille. I am a licensed professional clinical counselor in sunny California.
Hi, Tennille.
Yeah. And I play Kavi, the Scholar.
Hello,
Hi,
Kavi.
Kavi.
I can go now. Oh, as you go.
I'm Kayla,
Hi,
Hi,
Kayla.
and I am playing Ezra, the beast.
Hello, Ezra.
Hello, Ezra. What are your and their pronouns?
Ezra's pronouns are she, they.
Okay. And hi, I'm Hallie Palmer, and I am an LICSW, a licensed social worker, and I provide therapy to people who have experienced trauma, amongst other things. And my pronouns are she and her.
Kavi's pronouns are they, them.
And I play Persephone Mara, who uses the GATE playbook, and her pronouns are she and her as well.
Hi, Persephone.
Hello, Persephone.
Thank you. So we do have a number of changes since we got access to the second edition of Grand Guignol. And so in advance, to make it a little bit more streamlined, we did answer the questions already. So we just wanted to review those, that everyone would know what they were. It won't change a ton about the scene, but it does add a little bit to it. Would anyone like to start? I figure we could ask our questions of each other like we would normally do, and we will answer them as if it was our first time.
So these are the updated questions that we have for the second edition.
Yes.
And I can start. So the questions that I had, my new updated questions are, what's the most damning, the question so asked as what's the most damning rumor you've heard about me?
What did I write for my answer? I don't have that document pulled up.
I do. So you wrote that you secretly wanted your family gone and are happy they aren't around anymore. These are the rumors going around the high society.
Yes.
The updated question I asked Kavi was, why do you wish I would just give up? And I can read that.
Yeah, I can go ahead and answer. Kavi wished that you would give up on society trying to take you seriously regarding your occult studies and monster knowledge. Some theories are too extreme for the public to accept or take in. It's not your fault they don't believe you. It's ignorance and fear that keeps them locked away from understanding the real mysteries, like you and I. Research for your own sake. And I believe someday the public will catch up and recognize your brilliance the way I see it.
And my question for Persephone was, how have I changed from when we were younger?
So when we first met, it was like a very interesting, spontaneous meeting, but you were very closed off, guarded. You helped and protected me, which I really appreciated, and I tried to help. I tried to return the favor, but you resisted my attempts at friendship. After some time, you became more comfortable with me, and I understood that you were trying to protect yourself from more loss. You seem to have softened up some in the recent weeks and months. I don't know quite what it is that caused that, but it seems like you're opening yourself up to more possibilities. But I'm worried on your behalf that if something happens to one of us, that you'll close yourself off from us again.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So those are your questions.
Yes, those are my updated questions.
Did you want to do we want to do all the questions and then touch on briefly the character changes? You have
Yeah.
specific changes to your playbook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should like just finish the questions and then we'll go into
Great.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go next. So Kavi asked Bako, when I get lost in research, how do you ground me?
And Bako replied by being there. Whether it's to make sure Kavi is eating or sleeping, or to ask basic questions to spark new ideas, I help ground you by reminding you there is life outside your work.
And I asked Ezra, how could the miracle I seek set you free? And my miracle, now they use the term miracle in the 2E version, my miracle is diagramming the true nature of the soul.
So my answer hasn't changed, which I think, but it's the same. So it's the same. Your wording just changed. So,
Yeah.
Ezra sought Kavi out to help solve the struggle that Ezra experiences, and more specifically, hoping Kavi's research will either have a cure or a way to more solidly control the monstrousness that doesn't result in harmful harmful skills.
Like heavy inebriation.
Yes, and other vices.
Yes. All right. And my last question is to Persephone. Why do my theories terrify you?
Mine also didn't change very much. However, I elaborate a little bit. I worry that you're going to measure my soul and you'll find it lacking or terrifying, or not human. And I worry that you will find that evil can be inherited and redemption isn't possible for me.
All right. Kayla, looks like you're up.
Okay. So Ezra asked Baco, what promise have we sworn to one another?
And Bako's reply was that if the worst happens, I will destroy the beast. If there is a point of no return, I will do my duty for Ezra and protect everyone else.
Ezra asked Kavi, who have I killed for you?
And so, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is not known by other people.
Right. Yeah. It's just between Kavi and Ezra. However, it's possible that Ezra might share that with someone at some point. So we'll see if that ever comes up.
Yeah, we can explore it in game if it would be a spoiler.
Yeah. So the secret between Kavi and Ezra is that Ezra once killed Edwin Cockburn for me. He was a researcher of the souls and felt himself to be in competition with my research. He threatened to destroy me and then lured me into a dark alley near the slums in London. I was eager for this information, and that I was being offered, but I was cautious as well. So I asked for Ezra to meet me there. When I arrived, Edwin threatened me with a knife if I did not reveal what I'd been working on. Ezra stepped in and her beast took over. And this was when I first saw her change. I don't know what she did with the body, but I've been working to help her ever since.
And Ezra asked Persephone, what draws you to my monstrous heart?
I felt drawn to you from the very beginning. It's an uncanny, like irresistible force. And I never actually had a choice, but I didn't necessarily want one. I can't resist Ezra. We'll explore more in the game.
All right, that means it's Persephone's turn.
Okay. Baco, what do you wish that I never told you?
I wish you had never told me that my deepest desires are possible. This would mean I would have to survive defeating the monsters in the dark and find out how to exist with no direct purpose afterwards.
Ezra, or no, I'll go to Kavi. Kavi, why do I make your skin crawl? This is similar to the first question, but I think you elaborated a little bit.
Yeah. I believe that there's something off about the diagram of your soul, but I don't know what it is. And it leaves me with an unsettling feeling inside.
And Ezra, we shared a vision the first time that we touched. How much of that would you like to share right now? Or what can you share right now about that?
I mean, what do you want to share?
It's up to you. Like, I think we're gonna definitely go into this
Remember.
during a scene today. But is there anything that you want to share right now?
Is there anything you want to share? I'm okay with whatever you want to share.
This is my question for you. Nice try.
I don't know where the form is. We didn't write it down.
It was in a chat we had with
Yeah.
like just the two of us.
Chat.
We'll go over in a scene. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there were a few updates that were made to some character things. The gates abilities were expanded upon, like there were more questions or suggestions for how the gate's abilities could be expressed. Basically this like along the lines of like someone who might be possessed by another being or could predict the future or other people's minds. But I know that there were some adjustments to Kavi's character as well. Mine were for Persephone, they continue to be a bit like ethereal, less pragmatic, so I can still have a little bit of freedom about how they're expressed. But for Kavi, there were some extra, more pragmatic questions. Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah. The past playbook was talking about basically mystery. What's the mystery that I'm chasing? And now they use the term miracle. And instead of it just being the true nature of the soul, it's diagramming the true nature of the soul. So it's a little bit more specific, which I actually appreciate. So the miracle, and then I also get to achieve a miracle, which is pretty awesome. They didn't have that one before. So the miracle I achieved was inventing a method to create new life. The miracle I chase is diagramming the true nature of the soul. They did have some changes to what was available for truths I doubt and truths I reject. So in the last playbook, I had put that my rejection was that there are only two genders. But in this new playbook, that isn't an option. So I chose other things. So truths I doubt is that progress is always good. And once again, I kept the same one that I had last time, which is evil is inherited. And then the truth I reject entirely is people cannot change.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
I think there were some changes for the hunter as well. Jesse, did you want to expand upon that?
Yeah, so most of what was available for the hunter has changed or stayed the same, but there were some changes in picking the things that you had lost or kept. They just changed some of the options or added some more descriptive words, or took out some descriptive words, I meant. Um, in it, like one of the things for the monsters I blamed for my losses that has stayed the same was the aristocracy, which they took out the ruling aristocracy from first edition to second edition, but most of my moves are the same. My questions have changed, and those are, yeah, the most that has changed in mine is the questions. Most everything else is the same.
Were there any changes to the beast?
Um, so they just separated. They added a second. So initially in edition one, the question is what caused you to lose control for the first time? And now that reads, what did you do the first time you lost control and the last time? So the first time Ezra lost control, they confessed a sinful love. And the last time they lost control, they beat someone and left them for dead.
Wish we remember that from our first episode. Or maybe not Left for Dead. Sorry.
Well, it
I guess
might
that
be
would
it might be Mr. Cockburn. Who knows?
Oh, Mr. Cockburn. So for Persephone,
Cockburn.
they just said that they made a note on the gift. The details are yours to author, but generally the Gates gift evokes the powers and methods of Victorian mediums to read hearts and minds, to have premonitions and visions, to command and direct the attention of others, and to invite, knowingly or otherwise, possession. So we might invite some of that into this in the next episode. And there was an added question of originally it was just what first awakened your gift, which I said I got drunk and kissed a girl. And now there's an added question to that: what freed its true power? And this fit really well with Persephone's story, which was I called out to any god who'd free me from my parents.
Mm.
And those are all the updates. So
Mm-hmm.
let's get into it, you guys.
Yeah. There are some updates to the settings, but you guys will
Yeah.
Not a
hear
big deal.
that as we play. Yeah, they're
Yep.
fairly minimal.
Just separated things a little bit more, and we could probably talk about the changes in the debrief.
Yeah. So we have our check-in questions. So as player, what hopes or concerns do you have for today? And as character, how are you feeling about events from last session? Is there anything you fear happening this session?
I can go first. So as player, I am, guess, hoping we'll be able to weave the story together, how to the best of our ability, and that it'll all come together in a really fun way. As the character, feelings about the last session, there was a lot that happened, and there's a lot of answers that Baco would like, and Baco is also kind of apprehensive about getting the answer, but we'll still move forward.
Yeah, I'll go next. What hopes or concerns do I have for today? Well, I think I'm hopeful that surprises will be well received. And I'm just interested in like what surprises will come up in today's game. and what the reactions will be. That's always so enjoyable. Um, all right, and in character, how am I feeling about the events from last session? Is there anything you fear happening this session? Um, I would say that Kavi is very they've been very, very busy. Very, very busy, confused, uh just filled with excitement and worry, lots of different emotions. Um and anything feared, yeah, I think for sure they fear like what's going on in London, because things are not getting better, things are getting worse. And Kavi doesn't really have a lot of time. So Kavi's doing their best to kind of move through some things, but in many ways, research can't be rushed. So they do the best that they can with the resources they have. And thankfully, they do have a great deal of resources, but we will see what will happen. But yeah, Kavi is concerned about the survival of their friends, and the survival for London itself. So I believe Kayla's next.
What hopes or concerns do you have for today? I just want the stream to stay stable. That's what I want. As a character, how was Ezra feeling about events from last session? I don't. I was gonna say I don't remember what happened last time. It's been so long. I think Ezra is feeling angsty. It's probably the most accurate term, and concerned about what it might mean if they're not able to control the beast. Yeah.
You're muted.
Muted.
You're both super fast on that. So I'm last. What hopes or concerns do I have for today? I am hopeful that the stream is stable, that everything goes well. We are earlier than usual, so I hope people who do tune in that they enjoy the stream, and I hope it's smooth. As character, as Persephone, how am I feeling about events from last session? There are a lot of feelings last session. A lot. Persephone is hopeful that things will work with Ezra. And she is hopeful that maybe eventually she could not work at the Queen's Head. That'd be super cool. And she fears that things will not work out with Ezra, that Ezra and her are like oil and water, and that maybe things will implode and destroy everyone. That's all.
Just that.
That's it.
Yeah. Just destruction and annihilation for everyone. No big deal.
There's a lot of power in that room. So
yeah.
And thank you for whoever is the anonymous dingo for putting in the lines and veils. Our lines are sexual violence, any explicit depictions of animal death or torture, and racism. Our veils are homophobia, transphobia, depictions of physical and verbal violence, and we want to check in as much as possible because we really want to go there with this game. Our intention with this game, and I think the creator's intention, is for us to really explore what it means to have different sexual or gender identities and how it affects literally everything in their lives. So we are going there as much as possible, as much as is safe for us.
Mm.
But we're checking in to make sure that everything feels okay. Okay. So we're ready for our first scene.
Let's do it.
Got this.
Right.
All right.
Tennille, do you want me to start play with the spec? Do you want me to start with the setting?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Like you can start, and then like if you want to hand the setting over later as your characters come in,
Yeah.
that's
good.
fine.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. So we pan in to Tennille. What does the outside of your lab look like? Can you describe it?
Well,
It's the
it's
basement,
like
right?
yeah, but I mean, like
I also
I basically have like a basement into my townhouse.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
mind. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mind doing the setting for the beginning too, because I did it last time. But
I've started. It's okay.
okay, you got this.
Okay. So was it like a brownstone? I think you're muted. Are you muted?
Hello?
There we go.
Brownstone town.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we pan in to Kavi's brownstone, and you can see the upper floors are dark, but the lower level looks like a basement level, garden level. You can see light, and it's the electric light of that era, right? So it's like very fainty, which is kind of a big deal to have electric light in a space. So and we'll zoom in, and as we zoom in, we can see Kavi is punched over a familiar journal. It has been about a month since Kavi got that journal. It is Bako's uncle's journal, Samuel. A month has passed. The floodwaters are continuing to rise. More bodies are turning up in more areas than just the slums. And everyone has a feeling that they're being watched. And the city is on edge. And you can tell Kavi is a little on edge as well, and has been furiously flipping through the notes. What are you doing?
No?
Here we go.
Oh,
Sorry.
can't hear. We can't hear you.
Yeah. Hello? Test,
Yes.
test, test. Okay. Sorry about that.
Oops, okay.
So I have a messenger
Mm-hmm.
send a note to Bako to come meet me in the lab. And while I'm waiting for Bako to join me, I start to organize things. So I have removed all of the.
You're cutting out. You cut out.
Yeah. It's a ghost.
If it's a lawyer.
No.
No.
A ghost.
Ghost for the spooky Victorian era stream.
Exactly.
Well, the messenger has run off with an extended warranty form.
Also wants you to switch to AT&T.
Like banging on Bako's banging on Bako's house.
What? Why? What? Why are you here?
Here, Kavi Master Kavi wanted me to give this to you. And then they hand it off and they run away.
Okay, so no. Baka reads the note, knows that even if it does say urgent, Kavi will probably lose track of time. So Bako takes some time to like go finish cleaning, like getting some food, just finishing up some errands on the way as Bako slowly heads towards Kavi's part of town. No, still can't hear you.
Maybe like a quick break?
Sure, we can take a break.
Okay, and then we can figure that out.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Back.
All right, we are back, and everyone should be able to hear me now.
Yay.
Yay! Okay, great. So Baco, you were saying, I guess you're gonna wait.
Well,
I'm
Baco's walking.
Yeah, I'm meandering over, like talking to some people on the street, making sure any of the orphans I know about and have found have enough to last them for the day, and just like helping people out as I make my way to Coffee's lab.
All right. So what I've done is I have like all of the clippings out like in order by their date or and I've like highlighted specific passages that are like the most important. I've collected a variety of different books that actually match information from the journal. So like I've researched into the history of everything that has come up. And there are multiple like beakers and instruments, like lab glass equipment. So everything's been cleaned since the last time we were in Kavi's lab. And, you know, glass has been removed, the windows have been corrected, and everything. So the lab looks like top notch once again, but clearly very, very busy, very, very filled with lots of different things.
Okay. So Baco gets to Kavi's townhouse and knocks. Would Kavi answer the door or somebody else to lead him to uh, the lab?
Yeah, there'd be like a servant that you've seen around.
I'll be the servant.
All right, sounds good.
So the door slowly opens, and you see a refined, masculine-looking individual with white hair, like in a pompadour. It says, "Hello, Miss."
I was. There's a letter. It was a journal. What?
Yes, Kavi is expecting you. And they open the door and they, with their gloved hand, wave you in. And Kavi apparently is for money, but also acts like they're not. Come on in. Kavi's downstairs.
Okay.
Would you like any snacks? Snacky snacks, as Kavi prefers.
Yeah. Yes.
I will make sure that some chicken nuggies are brought down to you. Okay. I'll take your coat.
I accept the offer for snacks and
Snacky snacks.
make my way to accept the offer for snacky snacks and make my way down to the lab. I knock on the door. Kavi, what did you find?
I found a lot. There's a lot of information that I need to impart. Come in. And they head over to the list of everything. And Kavi kind of like, just like, can you see? Like, do you see all that is here? Like this book is just such a wealth of information. It's amazing. I've learned so much.
Well, what the yellow eyes, the beast with the yellow eyes, what does it say? What do we know?
Yes, well, there were runes, and they'll open to the journal and like point to the runes. So all of this was in a dead language, a dead archaic language that, let me tell you, was not easy to decipher, but I did figure it out, and it definitely took some nights. But these runes here, they were found on a carved piece of soapstone in the center of a temple, called Kalawi. Have you heard of Kalawi?
No. What?
Yes, likely not. I mean, it's a very like ancient type of temple. It's not very well known, but they call this soapstone Judicula rock. Um, these runes depict a race of humans that have a beastly nature. Now, it's not exactly sure if this is from another world or if this is some type of evolution of human. Um, I need to actually have a creature to better figure that out. But here the runes state that there was a special like liquid, like a substance that they would drink um, that would actually help them control their beastly nature. Um, for some, when they drank it, it like brought out some kind of beastly spirit that they had to fight and conquer in order to control that beastly nature. And for others, they would just drink it and they wouldn't have to fight it. It's kind of odd. Yes, but I've been working on the recipe actually, and I managed to gather up the ingredients, which I had to call in a lot of favors, a lot of favors, and to get these ingredients. But I've come up with 4 potential recipes. I'm not sure exactly which one, but hopefully we can kind of get close.
Okay, so, okay. I, s- what, once we have this like substance, this potion, I guess, I know with Ezra, there is the beast, but after Ezra, what do we do with it?
Yes, I'm not sure exactly. You know, the blood that I obtained from your Uncle Samuel, it gave me a number of clues, and I've been able to do some experimentation to see um, to basically guess at some things, but I'm not sure what the next step would be if we are able to support Ezra. Um, I think the next step would be for you to bring a creature to me, and maybe that would help because I don't think Ezra is like those things. I think she's different.
What, how? What is it about Ezra that makes them different, makes them special?
Well, from the information that I've gathered, apparently there are some that are born in this way, born to look a certain way, and then for whatever reason, it seems like genetics are activated. And then that beastly nature comes out and they start to change. However, others can be made. I'm still trying to learn more about some substance. I'm not sure exactly where it comes from, but I think those that have the substance are somehow given a similar nature, but kind of are able to reclaim some of their humanity, or at least a good amount of their humanity.
Do should should we make this substance, make this potion and call Ezra, or you said there are 4 recipes. Which one will work the most?
I have no idea. They go over to where there's like glass beakers and tubes and all sorts of chemical items, and Kavi picks up a powdery substance and pours it into a glass beaker, and there's kind of like a little puff of smoke as the substances like bubble, and it becomes like a glowing green liquid. Yes, I'm not really sure, but if you help me, I'm sure that we can finish up the recipes within a couple of hours. Some of them are almost done.
Okay. Then let's do this.
Very well then. You will need goggles, and Kavi hands you a pair and some gloves and begins to instruct you on where things go and how to move things so that they can create the different substances. So after 2 hours, they come up with kind of like a dark green vial, a glowing green vial, a glowing gold vial, and a pale yellow vial. And then Kavi writes a quick message and sends for Ezra and Persephone to join them. They begin to kind of like set things up for the experiment, and they have like an anatomical chart placed on the wall, and seems to be very much deep in their study. And while Kavi is doing this, there is an enclosed letter that has Bako's name on it, with a silver ribbon, and it's kind of like off to the side.
Okay. I guess, do I notice the letter? Does Bako notice?
I guess that depends on how observant Bako is. I don't know where Bako is looking around, or yeah.
Yeah, Bako's pretty observant. Okay. So if I was to pick up, okay, I'll pick up the letter. What is this?
Oh, that is just something that I was working for you in between all of the stuff that I've been doing.
Oh, thank you. Which would show a little vulnerability, which is one of my transgressive moves, and I had 4 tokens from last session, so I need one of them.
Yeah, I should mention that the move I did was freely share your knowledge and expertise.
So, okay, so Bako opens the letter. What does it say?
It's a poem.
Oh.
Entitled Bako's Saga.
Are you gonna read what it says?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm gonna say, yeah, I'll spend another token, lay bare your driving passions and beliefs. And I'll say that Kavi actually like says it as you're reading it. As if they've had these words like memorized in their brains. In the face of oppression, our lips speak of the wisdom we seek. Your hunt, my hunt, castle of winks and smiles, shattered glass, dripping blood on tiles. My listening ear hears the wails of your soul and these twisting trails of mystery. I feel whole. Sparks of fire spit from your lips, thundering, roaring lion, louder than mountains, my heart fluttering. I hope to steady you, be a place of calm. Lonely in a large house, my arms, your balm.
Well, first, that's a great poem. Like, out of character. That's a great poem. Was not expecting that. But yeah, so Baco reads it and kind of looks up at Kavi and then looks back to the poem, and it's just kind of floored.
It's just something I've been working on.
It's beautiful. I'm honored. Thank you. It's been a while since I've been able to. I'm not good with words. It's been a while since I have felt something like this, and all I think I can say to express that is thank you for helping me see this feeling can still exist. You are a very amazing person, which is spending a token to honestly tell someone how you feel about them.
Yes, well, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Maybe you can help me in setting these light bulbs up.
Yes.
And so Kavi will instruct Baco on how to set up the light bulbs, and there are like these cylinders and wires and all sorts of stuff that they've put together while they're waiting for Ezra and Persephone to join them.
Okay. And then also you should get a token for offering healing or solace through that.
Yes, awesome.
Get that.
Yeah.
Nice.
In tokens.
I mean, we can skip to when
Yeah.
Ezra and Persephone get there. That's fine, unless Hallie wants like a something before that.
I don't know. No, I think that it would be fine for us to just show up,
Arrive.
arrive.
Very well.
I do have one question. What are those snacky snacks?
So maybe before they arrive, your
Staff.
employee. I asked for a sweatshirt. I've been texting him like, "Hey, I need this. I need that. I'm cold."
The snacky snack is a sweatshirt.
Snack is a sweatshirt and slipper socks. Because apparently, even though it's really nice out, my office is frigid. Uh, so
Let's name him Reginald.
excellent. So your employee Reginald comes down the stairs, like the epitome of refinement and like put togetherness, comes down and brings out some chicken nuggies, as I said.
How do you make chicken nuggies in industrial London?
It's just chicken bits and
Does that even okay, all right.
Kavi could have invented
I'll
something.
suspend my
I will not
disbelief.
allow any episode to go by without something adorable and or hilarious. I'm sorry. There's a lot of serious stuff that's happening in here, so we need some chicken nuggies, dipping sauces.
With some
And
ranch.
also, oh, I don't like ranch. I don't like anything that's white for dipping. I know that sounds terrible. Any white dipping sauce. I don't like mayo. It's really gross. So barbecue sauce. Unless you guys want ranch.
I don't think barbecue sauce existed then, but that's fine.
Doesn't
Have
matter.
your chicken nuggies.
Coffee wanted it, even though Tennille had no say in this. She's laughing though, so she likes it. So
it's fine. Yeah, just go for it. Why not?
Reginald comes down, pompadour in full effect, and he has some chicken nuggies and some tea and little tiny sandwiches and stuff and biscuits and stuff, cream.
Thank you, Reginald. You're always taking care of us.
And like pushes away like some of the beakers. There's literally no empty space. So, Kavi, we need to really work on this. Like, if I'm to do my job, you need to allow me a space to put down the tea.
Just bring in your own tray.
I need a table to put the tray on.
Have one of those wheeled trays.
You have stairs.
You can lift.
Yes, I am aware. I've been doing it this entire time. I'm just saying, like just a
Paco's shoving some of the chicken nuggies and other snacks in their pocket.
Would you like anything else?
For later.
Maybe some
more, yes.
Some spirits, maybe.
How about some biscuits?
Right here.
Okay. Wonderful.
Here's your clotted cream.
Biscuits and cookies, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
And here's your clotted cream and your jam and anything else.
No. I can see.
Like, would you like to add a little bit of sophistication to this? I would really appreciate it if you would.
I'll take more for later.
I am overqualified for this position. Overqualified. And that's when they hear a rap on the door.
Reginald,
I'm said it because I certainly was about to jump in.
You couldn't handle it?
I'm expecting 2 visitors, Reginald. Let Ezra and Persephone in.
Bring more snacks for them.
Snacky snacks, you mean?
Yes.
No problem.
That's very refined of you, Reginald. Snacky snacks.
I told you I'm overqualified, but you pay well.
Yes, I do.
So Reginald goes back up and opens the door, and Ezra is greeting them, and Persephone's right behind. which
Ezra
you're the
doesn't say
setting, but
anything. Ezra's just gonna walk downstairs.
Persephone has like a bottle of wine and some stuff, and she's gonna be like, I didn't know what to bring, so I just like brought what I had lying around, and I
It's
and
not a
then
party.
you'd never, Ezra, you never go somewhere empty-handed. Never.
Well, I'll remember that next time somebody wants to experiment on me.
You never go anywhere empty-handed. It's very difficult to get rid of her roots. Hands those to Reginald and goes down the stairs with Ezra.
All right. Hi, Ezra, Persephone.
Do you want
How-
some snacky snacks?
Are
I'm
you
okay.
well?
I would love some.
Okay.
What are snacky snacks?
Over there.
Great. I've never been here. This is great. Kavi, I've heard so many great things.
help yourself. Yeah.
I'll just sit over here. I'm just here in case anything happens.
I assume you're here to support Ezra, right?
Yes. And to make sure that Ezra doesn't beat up Baco, or Baco doesn't beat up Ezra. Just no worries.
All right. Well, I have gathered up information, and Kavi goes into her explanation, freely sharing her knowledge and expertise with you both about the runes and the temple, the religion, the beings, that sort of thing, and the recipes for the 4 different vials. They point out once again another chair, but this time there aren't any straps. They've removed the straps, but there are 2 metal cylinders that connect to the hands that you're supposed to hold, and above the chair are like these 4 large light bulbs that are a lot more sturdy than the other ones that had for the experiment. So Kavi starts to explain, all right, so we do have like these 4 vials, and we're not sure exactly which one is going to work, but we should try them and see. Either it will work or it won't work. Yeah.
I have to drink them all of them.
Well, hopefully not all of them. If we select the right one, then you won't have to drink the others.
I'm just supposed to sit down again.
Yeah. So you sit down,
Great.
and
Great.
yeah, and you hold on to these, and Kavi begins to kind of connect the wires and bring the cylinders into your hand, and then shows off the vials. There is a dark green vial, a glowing green vial, a glowing gold vial, and then a pale yellow vial.
I would like to use a move.
Right.
I also want to use a move. Go ahead.
I would like to use a transgressive move to send something unseen or obscured to help pick the vial that would have the best result.
I believe that all 3 of you gain a token because you all came to me for answers.
Okay.
and are guided by my beliefs.
Yeah, I don't even have to use a
Nice.
token.
Yep.
But yeah, so Persephone's gonna be like, put a hand on Ezra's shoulder or arm before grabbing a vial and just say, let me, if you trust me, like, let me try to help.
Um. So Ezra's going to look at Persephone and softly say, um, "Okay," and then I'm going to take an inhibited move and ask what makes me vulnerable in this situation.
Who are you asking?
Um, the setting.
Would you like me to play the setting? Since you
Tennille's
were.
playing. Is Tennille playing the
Oh yeah,
setting?
Tennille. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. What makes you're vulnerable is the unknown of what will happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I think Persephone used a move to ask her what was that move?
Sense something unseen or obscured. So I want to kind of get in touch with whatever helps me with my gift or whomever and help determine which vial, according to either myself or whoever helps me with whoever gave me my gift, what
Mm-hmm.
will cause the most desired effect. So she'll hold her hands over and kind of close her eyes and just try to get drawn to one of the vials.
So the setting is going to ask you a compelling question. What connects you to your gift in this moment?
My love for Ezra. And for you and Baco, or for Kavi and Baco, but ultimately Persephone wants to protect Ezra.
And where do you feel that this gift comes from?
Persephone doesn't want to know. At one point, she had asked for anyone to help her escape from her parents. And someone helped her unleash her gift, and she doesn't know who it is, and she's scared to know. It's terrifying. So she doesn't, it's kind of a ignorance is bliss situation. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's also terrifying.
So as Persephone moves her hand over the dark green vial, she feels kind of like a flush of cold in her feet. And as her hand waves over the glowing green vial, a shiver goes up her spine. As her hand waves over the glowing gold vial, there is a flush of warmth in the middle of her chest. And as her hand moves over the pale yellow vial, the warmth seems to travel up from her chest and into her face, making her cheeks kind of darken and like slightly in color.
So her hand hovers over the two the yellow and the gold vials, and lands on the final one that you had mentioned.
The pale yellow, the last one,
Yes.
where your cheeks flushed.
We said it moved from here, and so like all good, right? All good. This one feels
Who knows?
right. This one feels right.
Oh, okay.
I'm confused. Why do you want to go with that one?
It gave me the feeling that Ezra gives me.
Oh.
Oh.
Which is good.
Did you say that out loud?
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
She is very feminine, and it's okay for women.
No, I know. I just didn't know if you said it out loud so that Ezra could hear.
Oh yeah, and she probably looks to Ezra right in the eyes, and then looks down and says, "This is how Ezra makes me feel."
I'm gonna use an inhibited move, and advise someone on a point of fact, and say, "This is science. This is not about feelings."
Sure. So Ezra is going to reach for Persephone and is going to say, I trust whatever power allows you to know these things, and I trust how you feel, and then, which is
You get
your
a token.
lure. Yeah. I am sitting on 7 tokens.
I got 5.
Just get ready.
Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
And then Ezra's going to ask that is going to say, like, can you like stay close for this? And then is going to look at Kavi and say, let's just get this over with.
Of course I'll stay close. That's why I'm here.
I'm also here to protect.
I brought wine. Just in case.
Very well then.
Ezra drinks the concoction.
Right then. And so Kavi will once again turn off the lights. And there'll be total darkness. But then as there's kind of like silence in the air, you see one bulb slowly glow, and then the next one, and then the next one, until all 4 are just glowing brightly.
Okay. As the light bulbs are turning on, Ezra can hear inside is hearing what is this? What kind of toxic, I don't have a word, but we're gonna go with like, what kind of concoction is this? If you think you can just remove me that way, you still don't understand. And Ezra is going to transform physically, and the beast is kind of there in control.
Can I ask, what does that look like?
Oh, how did I describe it last time? A little bit like Mr. Hyde, right?
Yeah, I thought it was like slightly elongated arms.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like, was it like hulked out more?
A little Hulk, yeah. I would say like kind of like Hulk. We'll go with that. Just not green.
So like larger
Mm-hmm.
and more muscular.
Mm-hmm.
Like larger, not just larger, but like humongous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kavi rushes to the door and closes and locks it.
Persephone is gonna like is it a violent transformation or is it gradual?
No.
Like okay. So Persephone's gonna slowly move closer and kind of she's gonna look at you and like in the face and like kneel in front of you and put her hands like on your hands. Are you in the chair? Because I know the first
Yeah.
time there was a chair. Okay,
Yeah.
so she's gonna kneel in front of you and like kneel in front of you and put her hands over yours and say, "It's okay. I'm here."
Ezra's going to.
Which I guess could be a transgressive move. Be just where you're needed through uncanny. I mean, it's not really uncanny, but I'm hoping it's where I need to be.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to take a transgressive move and spend a token. Encounter the supernatural with thorough preparation or knowledge, and say to Bako, don't interfere. Ezra needs to fight this on her own.
So after Persephone says that, Ezra is going to. I'm going to take another transgressive move, and Ezra is going to speak her desires out loud and accept them. And those desires in this particular situation is to no longer be in pain and love the beast for what they are and how they can be beneficial, because the existence of the beast and like the monstrous soul has allowed Ezra, is partly responsible for Ezra's ability to navigate society in whatever gender they choose, though it also has gotten them into trouble. So, in this particular situation, this desire would be Ezra desires to not be in pain, and not feel like the beast will be angry anytime they take control. I guess we can say we're having that conversation out loud. And not in her head.
Do you want that to be roleplayed?
What do you mean?
Like, do you want to act it out?
Like somebody plays the beast?
If you want.
Or well, so Ezra was just gonna say that out loud. And then accepts it. So I don't know if I would assume that the beast accepts that. Unless you have an idea for it.
Not necessarily. I just want to make sure this is satisfying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everybody heard that. I don't know if other people want to respond or.
So what exactly did Ezra say out loud?
So Ezra said out loud, because I'm picturing it like the conversation he has in Venom, right? Where it's like they're both talking out loud. And so Ezra says, like, I just want us to not be in pain and be able to respect what the other can do. That's what Ezra says out loud. That's Ezra's desire at the moment.
Mhm. Did the beast say anything in response?
Um, do you have an idea?
I could. I always have ideas. So if you don't have one, I could.
Sure.
So you say, I just don't want to be in pain. And the beast says, I was never here to cause pain.
Ezra's going to say, well, then why has it been so painful?
Because you've resisted me. You've thought that I've been a monster this entire time, but I'm a part of you. I am you. And we can do amazing things.
But sometimes they're violent and they hurt people.
Yeah. And sometimes people need to be hurt.
We've killed a man.
I mean, we're that good.
Does Copy respond? Copy's like, no.
I feel like they deserve to not be alive.
I can't disagree with that.
I mean,
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, how do you want to deal with this?
So you're saying like I'm a bit too much? Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes.
I
I mean, I understand that sometimes you're like protecting us, but like, do we really need to be drinking all the time or doing other things?
That's not me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
you.
because you do all these other things. I have to try to forget.
It's because you're trying to avoid who you are. You're trying to numb me.
Well, how can I be sure that you won't get too out of control?
You need to accept me because I'm you.
Ezra is going to ask, how can I show that I love you as you are?
You're asking the beast?
Huh?
You need to accept that this is who you are and that you're not normal. You're not going to conform, and you shouldn't. And you love who you love, and you are who you are. And sometimes some people need to be punched.
Well, that's true.
It is true. I'm glad you agree. Because it's fun.
Well,
And you know it is.
sometimes. Sometimes it's fun. I'm going to take another transgressive move and actually, so I'm going to take 2. Well, yeah. So I'm going to take 2 transgressive moves. So, Ezra, I am going to intentionally surrender control and follow my instincts, which is to open my arms and offer someone comfort.
Who are you offering comfort to? The beast?
Yes.
Okay.
Aww.
So the beast, I am envisioning, like in Venom,
Mm-hmm.
that you two were talking to each other like this. The beast leans in and gets absorbed back into you, and you have a warm feeling from your heart up to your face and through all your limbs.
Yeah.
And you hear in your head, "This feels real good."
Yeah, this is better. Ezra says that outside. Ezra says that out loud.
We're gonna do really amazing things.
Great. Okay.
Sorry. Is that great? Just got me.
So
Okay.
while this conversation has been going on, Kavi reaches for a blank anatomical chart and begins like furiously like drawing and writing and like doing like dots and lines and things, and they say out loud, I've done it. This is the diagram of her soul. I've got it. And she's there just like incredibly exciting, just like graphing it out.
You're gonna Ezra hears in her head, they're really obsessed with us.
And like as Ezra, like when Ezra opens their eyes, Persephone's looking at you and says, "That wasn't so hard, was it?"
Only a little bit. I need a
mean, yeah.
nap.
I mean, Baco's fine. Baco's just fine. Look at them.
Baco's eating the snacks.
Yeah,
in the corner.
Baco's like, this is easy.
You didn't have to fight this time. Okay.
You do see Persephone like take a deep like sigh because she had like readied herself for battle.
Mm-hmm.
She's worried.
Ezra's going to look at Persephone and ask if going to say, let's we can go. I'm ready to go. I don't want to be here anymore.
Okay.
If it's possible, I'd love for you to fill out these survey sheets.
Persephone steps in front of Ezra and like looks at you, Kavi, and says, "Kavi,
it's like rating like
we're
your
really
concentration
lucky.
and attention.
We're Kavi,
how you, like
Kavi,
feelings,
Kavi,
1 to 10, and
Kavi. I'll take those. I'll take those.
okay.
I'll take those. But
Like,
also,
I need to know like how that vial tasted because
we're really lucky no
added
one
just the right
died
amount of
today.
measurements. Well, I think that was, I mean, there's always a chance, but
So
the chance was pretty small.
I'm gonna seize all the attention in the room by word or deed, and my eyes are gonna get real black, like all black, and like circles around her eyes, and she's gonna say, "We're good. We're really lucky nobody died. I will take the forms, and I'll make sure that they're completed." And then she goes back to normal. "Thank you, Kavi. This is great. I hope you enjoy the wine."
And I'm going to use an inhibited move, rationalize something that you can't believe in. Yeah, I think I just like blacked out there for a moment.
Yeah, you should probably rest. Baco, do you think you can take care of Kavi?
That's amazing.
I haven't slept in a few days.
Yeah, I bet not.
Maybe that's
That's gotta be so rough.
Wait,
and you see the shadows like recede a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh gosh, Ezra hears in her head the I have to come up with a name for the beast, but they say, "God, she's really pretty," and Ezra goes, "Yeah, I know," and this is like happening in her head, like as Persephone like did the whole black eye thing. And
what is Baco's reaction?
Still eating chicken nuggets.
Yeah, Baco's still eating chicken nuggets, just day in the life.
Baco's still processing the poem.
Yes.
Aww, that's so lovely.
If we're okay, I think we'll end with everyone. With Ezra
Reginald
and Persephone
closing the
leaving.
door behind Persephone.
Yeah. And we're good to take our break.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So
Kavi is going to retreat into her studies to avoid conflict.
Okay.
Okay.
Baco leaves Kavi to their room instead of the study.
Oh.
so
Oh.
that Kavi can get some
You.
sleep.
Okay.
And then Bako leaves.
Oh, I was like, oh, okay. All
I
right.
mean, she doesn't have to leave, or they. Oh, I'm so bad.
Zero,
with-
Bako just hangs out outside the room to make sure that Kavi
Yeah.
sleeps.
Waits for the snores and then leaves.
Yes.
With the chicken nuggies that Reginald provides in a
Yes.
to-go bag.
Oh,
Yes.
perfect.
Multiple to-go bags, hands
All
a
right.
couple to the orphans on the way home.
I love it. Okay.
Aww.
All right. Well,
Aw.
we're gonna take a 10-minute break, and we'll be back with our. I think it's technically like our second and a half scene.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
Hey.
We'll be back.
See you soon.
Welcome back. So before we move on to our next big scene, as Persephone and Ezra leave Kavi's brownstone, they shuffle past, or they're holding hands and they walk past someone that kind of just barely misses them as they get out of a carriage. And that individual is wearing all black and wearing a hat and goes straight up to the door that they just left and raps on the door.
And Reginald would come because it's Kavi's place, right?
Yes.
So Reginald has his pompadour and refined clothes and yes.
May I speak to the master of this place?
They are not available at this time.
This is a
Who
matter.
who is calling?
It's Inspector James Munro from Scotland Yard.
Well,
It's imperative that I speak with them immediately.
I believe that they are unavailable at this point.
It doesn't matter. I need to speak
Sleeping.
with them.
Sleep is very important.
I need to speak with somebody.
You can speak with me. I'll deliver the message.
Okay. So I'm going to need to speak with the master or mistress of this house immediately at Scotland Yard. My name is Inspector James Munro, and it's regarding a certain Ezra Grant that I believe Kavi may be familiar with.
Well, I cannot speak for them. Give me but a moment. You can wait on this porch. And Reginald closes the door.
The hospitality is something special. So he's going to reach into his pocket and like pull out a pipe and just light it and just kind of lean on the stoop.
Kavi will wake up and make them their way to the door in their inherited suit. And
Okay.
Inspector, you said that you had a question for me.
Yes.
or something?
Thank you for meeting with me. I understand that you are very busy, being a scholar of your caliber.
Yes.
I have certain knowledge that you may be familiar with Ezra Grant. They are connected with a string of brutal instances across the city, and I need to speak with them immediately. Do you have any information that you can contribute to my investigation?
No. I don't even know who this person is.
You don't know this person.
No.
Would you go on record to say that?
Why should there be a record?
They're connected to a number of brutal incidences that occurred across this city.
Yes, there's a horrible thing that is going on. There are beasts in the night. Are you aware that there are monsters among us?
Are you okay?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Well, if I find out that you have anything to do with these gruesome murders, you will also be held accountable.
I am going to make an inhibited move and use my intellect to make someone feel small. You think you know what's going on with the situation with the bloody bodies, but let me tell you, you have no idea the nature of what is going on. And it's not just here, it's in other places as well. There are creatures that are taking over. And you're clearly not intelligent enough or brave enough to understand the knowledge of this.
He's going to get a little flustered and be like, I have no clue what you're trying to say, but we will get down to the bottom. We'll get to the bottom of
proved
this.
my point. You've proved my point, sir.
Are you familiar with the people at the local asylum?
Are you familiar? Are you familiar with Cullowhee or Judah Color Rock? No, I bet you've never heard of them. They're from an ancient language. You have no idea what you're talking about.
I hope you're.
I speak of intelligent things that you could not even, your tiny mind could not begin to understand or comprehend.
Okay, that's great. I will have men posted at your door to protect you.
I don't need any protection.
Like,
I know how to handle myself.
Good day. And he leaves.
Ignorant fool. And Kami just gets
He's gonna mutter to one of his officers, like, keep an eye on her. And does misgender them on purpose. Okay, Mistress Kavi. Good night.
Good night. I hope you sleep well and don't have nightmares of the ruin that's going on in London.
Is that a threat?
No, it's not. Others are having nightmares, and it's for a reason.
He writes something in his little notebook and kind of glares at you.
I am at the top of my field.
Okay. Good night.
I know what I'm talking about.
I'm sure you do. Okay. And he walks.
And Kavi will head at the door, slam the door shut.
People these days.
Yes. Yes, I will say that too. Yeah, I was like, I think I did another inhibited move. Yeah. Scorning the politeness of society. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I've been waiting to do something like that, actually.
Excellent. I'm glad. No worries. I just had this idea and I just wanted to go with it. Thank you for letting me go there. Yeah. So our next big scene. We open upon. Jesse, did you say you were there already or on your way? Sorry.
On my way.
Okay. So we open on Baco. It has started snowing and it's a week or two later after our last scene. And we see that Baco is making their way to the industrial part of the city. There are smokestacks, and you hear the shuttles for the looms rushing back and forth. And it's a very busy day, or it would be probably after hours, I would imagine. So people are starting to go home after work, but the smokestacks are still pouring out smoke over the city, and the sun is setting and has started flurrying. What is Baco doing?
Um, so, hmm, I guess looking at all of the entrances to see which ones have the most people around them to figure out which door would be the safest to go through and the least conspicuous.
So set the scene a little bit more. Baco is in front of a factory,
Okay,
and
so
in front of it there is like a small placard next to the entrance for all the workers that says Mara Textile Factories and Chemists. And you see there's several entrances to this place. It's not well guarded. You did have to slip past a couple folks, like a couple thugs,
okay,
but it's pretty easy to get inside. And it's
okay.
dark, there are no lights lit, and it smells of like sweat and dust and a little bit of smoke.
So
Is there anyone else with you?
I think for this kind of mission, if Ezra was available, Baka would try to bring them just to help with sneaking and possibly intimidating as needed.
I'd like to just say that, since we're moving a couple of weeks in the future, Kavi would have gotten a message to Ezra to not come to their lab anymore because of the Scotland Yard.
Mm.
So you are aware that the investigator is actively looking for you. Yeah.
Let's say Ezra is going to meet we'll meet Kavi, or we'll meet Bako, but is going to be like wearing uh like a cap and glasses. Kind of in disguise. I mean, I do have a move, so but yeah, we'll say that they're dressed a little bit differently than their normal attire.
So, okay. So, sneaking into the textile plant, like we would see all of the machines, and especially as it's textiles. Because wasn't it during Victorian times with the textile factories, the majority of the workers were female?
Yeah, and the
Yes.
looms and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's very
and then they'd
dangerous.
get like cotton lung.
Yep.
Yeah, they had massive looms. There was some
Yes.
dyeing. But
Hair
as you
getting caught in
know, the owners
machines.
of this factory also like to expand. They're always looking to diversify their investments. And something in the journal from your Uncle Samuel brought you here.
Yeah. So, yeah, there was something in the journal because the journal had mentioned that the monsters were being made. And so we're looking to see what we can find
Okay.
about where people are being made.
Where should we start?
Let's see if we can find a basement or anything that looks like a lab or where they would do experiments similar to what Kavi has.
Okay. Ezra's going to start looking for a basement.
It's not too difficult to find. This is a place where people work, but you do have to go through rows and rows and columns of looms before you come to a door that has stairs that go down. And the stairs are creaky and old, and it's definitely not where the general employees would go down. There's no electricity down here, I would say, so you'll have to use some other method of seeing, whether it's a lamp or a torch or your
Candle or hooded
yeah,
lantern.
beastly eyes.
I don't think do her eyes give her dark vision? I don't know.
Maybe I don't see why not.
Is it 60
I mean, it is
feet?
supernatural. Yeah, I mean, we'll say that happens. The beast is like, I need to come up with a name for the beast, but
I don't
they're
know.
like,
The beast works.
they're like, yeah, just see your measly human eyes, and then Ezra can see more clearly in the dark.
Ooh, like that.
Yeah. And I think Kavi would still have a lantern.
You mean Baco?
Yes.
Baco.
You did it too.
Yes.
It's not just me.
I think Baco would still have a lantern.
I also did it.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, as an inhibited move, which of my monsters, is nearby?
Ooh, which of your monsters? So, like, can I like name them?
Yes, I'm asking this of the setting, so yes.
So are these like real monsters or allegorical monsters or metaphorical monsters?
Well, so the monsters that I blame for my losses
Yes.
are some creature in the shadows, the aristocracy, and myself. So myself shouldn't count just because then I could constantly ask the question and constantly answer myself.
It's you. It's definitely the aristocracy. You don't quite know the full connection between the journal and what Ezra's experiencing and the beasts, and you don't know the full connection, but you do know that this factory is owned by one of the wealthiest people in London and that they are rapidly expanding, and that there have been rumors that this person is taking advantage of the lower classes and that people are disappearing and that they have a ton of money and power and respect.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Okay, so Ezra, are you ready for whatever we might find?
Yeah. I mean, of course.
Okay, it might get messy, but let's go.
Well, have you met me?
Yeah, that's why I brought you with me today.
Messy is fine.
Okay, so heading down in the basement, I guess. What do we find? Is it
Initially, it's just normal stuff like storage, places with crates and barrels for supplies for making textiles, dyeing, some food, some stuff like that. There's definitely some rats scurrying along.
Ezra is going to take the transgressive move and ask the setting who here intends violence, and is going to try and use that to interpret if anyone is in the room.
Who here intends violence?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no one else is in the room right now, but you would assume that depending on what you guys find, the two of you might intend violence. But you do find like a hidden door, because there's always one. and you start getting this eerie, unsettling, gross feeling as you move down, and you come and you go down a hallway. It starts going down and turns into like clearly a not up to code basement. Um, and in it there's some cages. There are a number of vials, but this is definitely the evil version of what Kavi has. And there's some bubbling. You don't see anyone there except for some wretched creatures kind of moaning on the ground in their cells and cages, and they're shackled. There's some
Okay.
papers on the table. And this is me. I'm taking a move, show the human cost. And there's some, yeah, like I said, there's some notes on the table.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. I want to look at the notes. So Baco is going to move around and look at the notes on the table and see if any of it reminds them of the things that they saw either in Kavi's lab or in their uncle's journal.
You look at the notes and you see there's diagrams, there's written instructions on, and like lots of like frantic notes in the margins. And it's about how do we recreate our first batch of potions. And it looks like they had started moving into another market and they had accidentally created some of the beasts. And when you see the wretched creatures in the cells, they don't look human. They don't look like whatever Ezra is. They're different, but they also have those same golden eyes. But they're not doing well. They're suffering. And the owner of this factory has discovered some way to unlock. In the notes it says we need to learn how to unlock this potential in every human being when it suits us. And you hear a scuff in the hallway.
Okay. I
We take these notes to Kavi.
Yes, I think we should collect all of the notes
Should
and
should we take one of those things?
yes, Kavi specifically asked for a research subject.
Okay. But how?
That is, well, if we knock it unconscious.
One of them like looks at you and it's just got one eye. It looks at you and it goes, and it like snarls.
I think we could take it.
Ezra's beast is gonna snarl back.
It's gonna say, just put me out of my misery.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Maybe
No.
Maybe Kavi can fix it.
Yeah.
You also said there was like noise in the hallway.
Yeah, you heard something in the hallway. You see a shadow move.
So I want to hide. Like, is there anywhere where we could hide? Like either together or separate?
Not really. Like behind the wall.
Ezra's going to take an inhibited move and ask, how can I tell my hunters are closing in?
Tennille, do you want to answer this? How can Ezra tell that their hunters are closing in?
By the shadow of a tall man that that comes into the room.
Okay.
and he's wearing a top hat and a black suit and a cane, kind of like Mr. Peanut, but not with a little eyeglass thing.
Oh, sure.
Kind of like Mr.
Okay.
Peanut.
Okay. And
Who the
well,
fuck are you?
What are you doing here? You don't belong here.
Who are you?
Who are you? You're not the owner of this factory.
I think Ezra recognizes this person because they've played cards with them.
Oh, is it Arthur?
It's Arthur.
Wait,
The light, he kind of walks in and you can see the light
Great.
like kind of show his face a little bit more, and he's, Ezra, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
And who's this other person?
don't worry about it.
So Ezra,
you need to leave this place.
So I'm gonna take a transgressive move and surrender control and follow your instincts, and I'm going to let the beast take over. And the beast is like, I don't really care what you want, and yeah, is ready for potential violence.
Arthur will attempt to defend himself with his cane.
So is this how Arthur normally looks? Like, does Arthur look like this when he's at the Queen's Head playing cards?
No, I think he doesn't normally look like this.
So he's a different person when he's here.
Yeah, he kind of like dyes his clothing down when he's just drinking, you know.
So the creature in the cage says, "Let me out! Let me at him! Let me out! Let me out! I can get him."
Okay, I first want to ask the room, am I the hunter or the hunted right now?
You're the hunted.
I'm the hunted. Okay. And
you get a feeling that you might have been lured here.
Well, that was an inhibited move. So I'm going to try. You know what? I'm ready to throw down. Going to try unlock the cage and let the creature out.
The creature jumps out on all fours and like launches itself right at Mr. Peanut / Arthur. And there is another creature that you could take with you, or you could wait to see how this goes. But like the creature is just going at like, how you did this to me? You helped them.
He's trying to hit with his cane, but it's not doing much.
So I recognize. Do I recognize Arthur?
I would say yes.
Okay.
It took a minute, but yes.
So I'm going to take an inhibited move, and I'm going to pick a fight. I'm going to win a brawl and limp away beaten and bloody. And I am going to pull this beast off of Arthur, who I imagine is quite hurt at this point. And I assume that we will get into a fight.
I think you assumed correctly. The beast is not happy. The creature is unhappy to be pulled off, but we'll let you can tell that you are the alpha.
I mean, I win, but it's like I'm messed up again. So I imagine I'm probably got a bloodied face and pretty sore. But let's say Ezra was this like, why won't you just like listen? Like, we can help you. And like as they're fighting, and then is going to knock the creature out. And will stand up and look at Bako and say, I think we should go now. And is going to like pick the creature up and put them over their shoulder, fireman style.
And
When you-
Arthur says, "You never saw me. You never saw me. You can't tell.
You never
anyone.
saw me.
You never. You have to tell. Like, don't tell anyone that you were
Oh, I thought
here
you
or
picked
what
the
you
fight
saw."
with
No.
Arthur.
No.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
No, I picked the fight with the
Ezra
creature.
saved Arthur.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ezra looks at Arthur and says, you never saw me.
One of the other creatures says, I saw yous all. I saw yous all.
And that's why you're the one being left behind.
As you guys are
What are
getting
you
ready,
gonna? Yeah, what are you
Ezra's
gonna do?
Ezra's gonna take another inhibited move and tell that creature, I promise I'll come back to you. I'll come back and get you. It's a promise I can't possibly keep.
Lies. That's what the owl says. And as you guys are getting ready to leave, you do see on the desk, kind of like partially obscured by some papers, you see a portrait, one of the few, and it is that would be around, and it is, you distinctly recognize Persephone in it, and there are a couple other people in the picture.
Ezra's going to take the picture.
Yeah, Persephone's
Hey.
definitely a little bit younger.
What are you doing? Why are you taking things?
Why are you
don't-
asking questions? We're letting you live.
Well,
I throw a dagger in Arthur's direction. We don't have to let you live.
Yes.
oh man, look, you don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what all
We
of this
know
is
more
about.
than you, probably. I assume.
Really?
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Ooh, okay. So, yeah. You are the one that doesn't fully understand what is going on. You are making all of the mistakes, and that is offering a cryptic or incomplete warning as an inhibited move. And also, you should get out of this while you have the chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have Arthur have someone do what's right. Arthur, I want you to do something that's right. You've been playing a couple sides in this story, I think.
I've been getting paid quite handsomely, so I it's true. I don't know everything about what's going on with these creatures in these cages, but I'm being paid a lot of money to look the other way.
Who is paying you?
I fear I've said too much.
That to do what's
I-
right.
I've said I feel so bad about all of this. But you have saved my life. You can't tell them. You can't tell them what I'm about to tell you, or they will come after me. They will hunt me down.
We're going to end it.
I'll be in a worse situation than I am right now. Have you heard of the Mara family?
Do we know Persephone's last name?
Ezra does, but only
Okay.
Ezra.
Okay.
No.
And you know that the factory is the
the
Mara
Morrow
textile
factory. Yeah. No, I've never heard. Well, wait. With my past, I'm still gonna go with no.
You know that Mara is the name of the factory, though, because
Yes.
you tracked them there.
It is the factory. I may have heard the name before, but I do not know of them.
Yes, they own the factory, and they started all of this. They have some kind of substance that they use to infect people. When workers were not doing so well, when they had accidents or they had issues, there would be conversations where they'd come in one way and they'd walk out another. And when I landed on some information, they paid me a great deal of funds to not say anything and to help them do whatever it is that they're doing. But I don't have all the information.
So they paid you to keep their misdeeds quiet.
Yes.
So you enabled all of the suffering that has been going on, these experiments, the creation of more of these creatures. And this is a transgressive move to confront someone over how they've hurt others.
I was originally told that they agreed to it, that this was going to make them stronger, was going to make them better in some way.
I don't think
but
that's what's happening.
But yeah, I did realize.
You hear the other creature say, "Lies!"
Yeah.
Lies! And you hear the rattling of the cage.
I realized over time it was all a lie, but I was in too deep, and the factory is the only way that I make money. I don't know that I could do anything else, and they were paying me so well. I admit my greed took over.
There is so much more to life than money, regardless of the things you can get with money and how you're told to value and put so much importance into that money. But even for whatever stability, for whatever protections you may get with that money, was it worth all of the suffering you helped cause by hiding it?
I try not to think about the suffering. I think more the fact that I'm no longer suffering because I now have a doctor that can give me the medicine that I need so that I'm not in so much pain with my bum knee. My injured knee that I got here at the factory.
Well, I would recommend you think on how your actions have affected others in continuing to let these people stay in power and do these experiments, especially with what we know of these experiments. But for now, we have other places to be. And so I would look at Ezra. I think we should head out.
That's a good idea. I've been carrying this dude, holding this guy for a really long time. So I can't go to Kavi's house, so you're gonna have to like.
We'll do a handoff once we're someplace else.
Right.
We'll make it seem like this guy is drunk and I'm helping him home.
Great. Good idea.
You guys are able to like easily get out, so you definitely get the impression that Arthur is telling the truth, that they're protecting the Mara interests. And you slip past a couple people that could have seen you with minimal issues. You get the impression that very few people mess with the Maras. And that's the end of that scene. Interesting.
Indeed.
Indeed. We only had one more, I think, unless there was anything else that anyone wanted to do before that one.
I didn't have anything else. I guess, yeah. So we could go into the next scene. How close after the last one would it have happened?
Let's say like Ezra and Kavi split up. Like Ezra passed off.
Ezra and Baco.
Yeah.
Baco.
God, I do it. We've all done it. Okay. Yes,
You guys
Baco.
just
Yeah, I
love
know.
my
Kavi
name.
and Baco.
Yeah.
It's like the syllables work out, right?
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That is
Kavi,
true.
Kavi and Baco, Kavi and Baco. See, now I did that. Just Ezra and Baco. Part ways after Ezra hands over the body. And then Ezra is going to find Persephone, wherever Persephone is.
As Ezra does.
And Ezra's like, got him all bloody again.
Persephone can be found at the Queen's Head, like usual.
Okay.
Though
right.
she is getting increasingly annoyed with the situation there.
Okay. Ezra will walk into the Queen's Head and see if they can find Persephone.
So I had asked Jesse to play this setting. Overall, we want to use the blood that flows, but we can use the embrace of the night first. I don't know. Jesse, do whatever you want.
Okay. So we are back at the Queen's Head the same night. It is as before. There are a few people who are milling about, some workers, some locals, or some of the regulars. There are a few more people than usual because as the floodwaters have been increasing, people have been going to the Queen's Head, which happens to be on slightly higher ground, as a place of refuge.
Good to know.
Persephone. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Persephone can be found cleaning up after people. She's real annoyed, and she's just kind of hustling around. She looks a little worse for wear.
Ezra's going to try to find a table off in a corner and catch Persephone's eye. Ezra's feeling a little anxious that there's so many people in this bar, since Kavi told them that Scotland Yard's been looking for them.
Yeah. So, Persephone, what are you doing again? You're cleaning?
She's pouring beer, bringing
Yeah.
food. Like her hair is up in one of those like Victorian hairstyles, but it's like super messy and a little sweaty, and she's just done. And Rowan has been up her bum.
You can swear. We are a
No,
mature stream.
Persephone doesn't. Okay, I'm in character. Persephone would not.
Very well, very
She
well.
brings hors d'oeuvres to all gatherings.
All right.
So,
Rowan's been up her ass, and Rowan is like this close. This close.
So, one of the older workers who is usually in the back and isn't usually front facing comes and drops off a drink and some rags by Ezra, and says, "I know you look out for our girl Persephone. You really need to stop coming here so bloodied all the time. Here, clean up."
That's fair. That's fair. Is gonna take a drink of the beer. And is going to say, where is she?
she is busy and points towards Persephone, who is just trying to get work done. I would offer to let you to her room, but Rowan is very much customers cannot go in without permission, even
Yes,
when it is
I'm
known.
aware.
I am aware.
I had to pay last time. I'm
Yes.
aware.
So
You do hear Persephone, like she lets out an unusual, not quite a swear word, but like, you know, like the next level down, like instead of Jesus Christ, like cheese and crackers. Or what the flip? And
Yeah.
you hear things clattering and she's hurriedly
She
cleaning
doesn't.
things up.
Ezra's, she doesn't look okay.
yeah, with all of the flooding and all of the dreams, just all of the things going around in London right now, everyone is just trying to find some peace. And so we've had more people here than usual.
Aren't we all? Ezra hears in her head, we could pick a fight to get her attention. And Ezra says, I don't think that's a good idea this time.
Did you say that part out loud?
Yes. We'll just go with yes. Yeah.
I for a lot of people, peace is a good idea. But
yes,
I understand that might not be your thing, so I'm gonna go.
Can you tell
I'm gonna go.
Persephone I'm over here? Just...
Sure.
I mean, here, have some. Will you do it here? I'll give you some coin, and Ezra will give them like a copper piece.
Okay. Of course. And then that worker heads to the back. Okay, so
Oh no.
So
I'm trying to decide what to do. So Rowan comes up to you, Ezra.
Oh no.
After this worker leaves.
Okay.
I see you are back, and once again, a mess.
Yeah. That happens sometimes.
Yes, while this is not necessarily in the most prestigious part of town, we do try to maintain our standards.
What does that mean?
Less blood, less fights. You may be banned if you cannot stay in a more don't bring trouble to this place.
Ezra's going to take an inhibited move and is going to insult someone through blunt or rash speech. Ezra's going to sit up, and so this is kind of like the beast is kind of also like encouraged to this, because as Ezra was sitting there the whole time, they were like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, why is this person talking to you like this?" So Ezra's going to stand up and look at Rowan and say, "That's rich coming from someone who takes all the money from their workers and lets people steal from their patrons."
My workers are fairly compensated for the work that they do. In terms of the individuals that come to this place, we do our best to maintain a certain level of respect. As you well know, we understand that people have different events in their lives, and we try to accommodate that. However, there is a
Persephone's
limit.
Persephone's gonna like scooch right up next to between Ezra and Rowan and say she's gonna say, "Oh, hi Ezra. Sorry. I don't know the name of the other person. Josephine told me that you were here. Rowan, I got this."
Josephine.
Oh.
That's good. Good.
I need you to know that this one is on thin ice.
I don't even know what that means.
I'm talking to Persephone.
And it's Rowan. It's Rowan that's talking.
Yes. But this one is on thin ice. They make sure that they do.
You hear like a growl come from Ezra.
So I'm gonna use an inhibited move. And so Persephone she's done. And she looks at you and she's gonna cut someone down with sharp words or secrets and provoke someone's scorn, suspicion, or distrust because she's done. She's gonna say, Rowan, I understand that you get off on having control over every one of our goddamn lives, but you need to back the fuck off before I burn this shit down. And she's also going to use transgressive move to
burn it down.
Seek intimate seclusion and says, Ezra, would you like to go somewhere private? Maybe to your place. I think I'm done with my shift.
Okay.
And as she's saying all this, her gift did kick in, and the shadows are creeping in, and you see almost like hands reaching towards Persephone, and her eyes got darker, and you don't like what you feel, except for Ezra. Rowan, I need the night.
If you choose to leave, then you choose to leave, and you will have to live with whatever consequences come from that.
You'll have to live with whatever consequences. We're going. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, I think.
How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, I have a black eye now, but that's good. It's all right.
Yeah, it looks like you got in another fight. Let's go to your place.
I mean, I was just helping Kavi.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Oh. So the two of you head towards Ezra's place, where we haven't been before.
Oh.
So where is Ezra's place, and what does it look like?
Ezra's got like I imagine it's probably like the top floor of a split level brownstone, kind of off. It's close to the Queen's Head, but it's not like in the immediate neighborhood. Kind of secluded, quiet area.
I know you also wanted to use the embrace the night, or no, blood that flows for yours, which is like the more wealthy area. Is it close to the wealthy area or no?
Oh yeah, right. Give wealth and privilege.
It's okay. If it changes.
I mean, it can be kind of in between. I don't know if it's wealthy, but maybe Ezra is renting from a wealthy person. We could say that. Maybe it's by
Or it could be like one of the few places that wasn't bought out in the wealthy area.
Yeah. Maybe it's by the theaters.
Ooh.
Yep.
So Persephone's gonna get real close to Ezra. It's a little uncharacteristic for her. She snuggles in as they're walking and is just like, I'm fine. I'm getting really tired of trying to do this on my own. Do anything, everything. I don't know.
Well, you don't have to do it all alone.
I know. I feel like given who my family is that I need to kind of prove something, that I need to that I can make something on my own.
Well, that might be possible considering Bobby and I found other monsters in the factory space
What?
heat. Yeah. And Ezra will pull out the photograph.
Are they at Ezra's place now or
Oh,
still
well,
walking?
still walking.
You meant Baco and you.
Yeah, yes. Sure did.
We're just making up names now.
It's all about Kavi. Everything is about Kavi.
Oh.
Yeah, I found this.
Oh. Shoot. Yeah, I haven't seen that picture in a long time. It was like the first photograph we got as a family.
You were a cute kid.
Thanks. I'm sure you were too. So the photograph is Persephone, her parents, and I think at least a sister, a younger sister. And it's a few years ago, but it definitely looks like her, and she looks untouched by whatever
Mm,
haunts her now.
Something happened.
A lot happened, but it doesn't surprise me. Like, so you said that you found more
Monsters.
monsters in the
Mhm.
factory?
Yeah. Baco took one to Kavi.
Anything else?
Arthur was there.
Arthur's always ugh. Like the guy you play cards
Yeah.
with?
Yeah, that guy.
He sucks. That
He
doesn't
does
surprise
suck.
me
He's a
at
thief.
all. My father's always been opportunistic. He will do anything to make more money and to secure his name. And I feel
How
like
do
this,
we stop him?
I don't know. He's got a lot of power. He has something on everyone.
Good to know.
It's why I left. Like,
Yeah. Does Persephone know that Kavi told Ezra the Scotland Yard is looking for Ezra?
I feel like Ezra would tell her that. Or
Like,
I don't
would it
know,
be new
would
information?
Ezra tell Persephone that? Or would Ezra want to protect her?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Um, maybe Ezra will now just tell her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mighty suspicious now. Avi told me after that experiment, Scotland Yard showed up looking for me.
After like the last one?
Yeah.
Like I thought that that's not good.
No. So, we should make haste and to Neil, we should make haste and actually my apartment's right here.
Oh, is this it?
It, it
I've never
is.
been here before.
I'm aware.
Am I making you uncomfortable?
No. Why would you be making me uncomfortable?
You're just different today.
What do you mean?
You seem uncomfortable.
Well, I don't think I'm uncomfortable.
Okay.
I'm just shocked at the cruelty of your father.
Oh, you have no idea. Let's get a drink. Do you have any alcohol, spirits?
Do you know who you're talking to?
Well, you might have drank it all. I don't know.
No. Yes, we can. Yes.
You've been much better.
Yes. This is true.
Ever since the experiment.
This is true. Yeah, we can have a drink.
Okay. So what does your place look like?
I imagine it's like a 1 bedroom with, actually, yeah, we'll do like a studio with a small little kitchenette. Um, and just like one main area and a fireplace.
I'm glad you put the fireplace because this in my brain space when I was like planning out whatever this could be, there was a fire.
Mm-hmm.
So Persephone's gonna say it's cold. Can we have a fire?
We can. I will make a fire, and Ezra will make a fire.
So Persephone's gonna say, I think I don't know if I can go back to Queen's Head. Like Rowan has been busting my ass, charging you when I pay for my room. And this is ridiculous.
You don't have to go back. Who said you had to go back?
I don't know. Have you ever had to rely on like have you ever had I don't know, you get to go throughout society looking like a man.
Mm. I mean, sometimes,
And
yes.
whereas like I don't know, my parents always wanted a boy, didn't get one. They got me and my sister. And God forbid you don't do what you're supposed to. I don't know.
Well, that's okay. I'm sure you meet all of the expectations. Uh, Sometimes seeming seeming to appear to be something you are not is just as unsafe as appearing as what people don't want you to be.
Do you remember the first time we met?
Uh, yes. Why?
I
How long ago was it? How long ago was it?
feel like it was a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember seeing you at my father was taking me on tour of the factory, me and my sister. And I just saw you. You were talking to someone else. You looked to anyone else, you would have looked like just a regular person. Nothing. And I was drawn to you immediately. And then, I don't know. It's like I didn't know then what I know now.
What do you know now?
It's like the beast in you called out, and the monster or demon in me called back, and I couldn't resist it, and I didn't want to.
Mm. Um,
And
I
then when
think,
we touched,
yeah.
I mean, we
I
haven't. Sorry,
Go ahead.
we haven't talked about that, but you like shook my hand, and I'm gonna use a
Mm-hmm.
transgressive move and look into someone's heart and see them truly. And I experienced something. I feel like you did too, but I don't know. And you introduced yourself, and our hands touched, and I saw things. Did you?
uh, I did. I didn't know you saw things too.
You, what did you see?
Um, going to take a transgressive move, and I saw my desires. We were embracing and kissing, and I don't know, a little freaky because like it looked like a vision, like Also, caveat, you were a child. So
A few years ago, like not a long time ago.
okay. All right. Like
late
18?
teens.
Okay.
Late teens, okay?
Okay. Great, good. That makes me
Okay,
feel
like
better.
no, not like in the picture.
No, not a child. No, I know.
Jeez. Not like Carmilla.
Oh my god. No, no, no. Oh, okay, fine. You're right.
Well, at this moment, you hear a pounding on the door.
Oh, one
and
second.
Okay.
We got a little bit more. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry.
This is true. Yes. Oh, wait. So, okay. So I'm taking the transgressive move, and I describe the vision of us embracing, and I say, I later realized that that's how I would come to feel about you, and now I don't want to lose it, the feeling. So I am speaking my desires and accepting them.
And I'm gonna do that too. I think it says claim your desires or gift as a part of you. So I'm gonna do that in a roundabout way. Persephone says, I saw the same thing, but I also saw like your beast. And I saw a creature in me too. And there was violence and there was love, and it was terrifying and amazing all at once. I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
Turns out I like the queen's head, so
I'm grateful. Can I stay the night?
Yeah. And I'm going to take the transgressive move and open my arms and offer someone comfort.
And Persephone will accept comfort and enter them.
So
And the mood and the lights fade to black.
Fade to black next morning.
The lights fade and then immediately come back on as in the middle of this embrace, you hear pounding on the door and someone yelling Ezra's name. Ezra, you recognize this as the voice of your landlord.
Oh. Hello?
Ezra, open up and we need to talk. There are some people here to see you.
What kind of people?
Like they're from the Queen's Head. Like I need to just open up.
This doesn't feel right.
That's weird. But from the Queen's Head.
We're not here. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
You're not hearing Ezra's voice.
Nobody's here.
Nobody's
They said
here.
they need to settle some debts and some things you left unpaid.
I pay off my debts. You know this.
This is what I have been told why they are here, and that this needs to be settled with the owner as quickly as possible.
What?
Stephanie's gonna like stand to the side of the door so she can't be seen when it opens. I don't know.
Wait, were we standing or were we like embracing?
I don't know. Like, is this the
I mean,
next
that's what I
morning?
meant. That's what I meant by dimming of the lights.
Yeah, I did. So is this next morning, Jesse, or is this
A few hours later?
a few hours later? Okay, so we were embracing
In bed.
or somewhere
In or somewhere.
on a bearskin rug.
On the kitchen counter.
Okay, there were many locations.
No, okay.
And it doesn't matter where.
Many locations. No. Okay.
I didn't know it needed to be safe.
Okay. All right. I know. I was like,
The stream just got real hot right now.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Ezra's going.
Am I
to
the
put,
only one blushing?
All the windows are fogged.
Oh, there's a handprint.
There's a handprint.
Titanic style.
Well, what's their name?
What are
As
one
Ezra's
of
yelling
them?
it from the other side of the room.
I would like to use a transgressive move and sense something unseen or obscured.
Okay. So
What do I
What-
sense?
yeah. So one thing you can sense are some familiar, let's say, auras of people that you have seen or felt at the Queen's Head before. They are familiar to you. You know them. There's other than who the aura of the person you assume to be Ezra's landlord, there isn't anything that is at where you are that seems unfamiliar other than them coming for you, like wanting to talk to Ezra at this time.
What if I open the door? Or would you
Uh,
rather do it?
I mean, you should probably put some clothes on.
You
if you're
should
gonna
too.
open- Ezra's already put pants on.
Okay, I will put my clothes on. I mean, but wouldn't that be surprising?
Yeah, it would probably, yes. That would be okay. I mean,
Just
you can
greet
open the
them
door.
butt naked.
I will trust. I will trust.
Hello, Scotland Yard.
I'm gonna put on.
I will
some,
trust. I will trust your intuition.
I'll put on clothes and I will open the door and say, and what do I
So-
see?
What you see are familiar places, are familiar faces, people that you have seen before at the Queen's Head. You see Gunther, you see some of the other people who have been regulars at the Queen's Head since you've been working there. You do know and recognize them. Like,
What are
they
you
are here.
doing here?
And okay, so
Can
so
I
the
help you?
Yes. Yes. So we are here to talk with you, Ezra Grant.
You can talk to me.
We are not here for you quite yet. We need to talk to Ezra
What
first.
does that mean?
Why do you want to talk to Ezra?
Okay. We have some things that we need to talk with them about in terms of settling some debts.
What debts?
What debts?
Okay. So that is something you do not need to worry about, miss. And so
Don't call me
there-
miss. Oh,
there
I'm
are
going
four-
to use an inhibited move. Provoke someone's score in suspicion or distress. You can speak to me about whatever this is, and I will handle it. And this is a bunch of bullshit.
Okay. If this is how you want to do it, this is how we will do it. So that first particular person grabs your arm and yanks you out of the room.
Oh, then I'm going to invite
Oh.
a spirit to possess me.
What's happening?
So who's grabbing me? Gunther?
No, not
No,
Gunther.
it's not Gunther. Gunther is like surprised by this. This was not what he thought it was going to be.
Who
Yes.
grabs my
So I didn't give him a name. Sad. Let's say let's
Gerald?
give him Gerald. Yes, we will go with Gerald.
arm? So I'm gonna invite the god and or spirit or whatever that I asked a freebie from my parents to possess me, and shit's gonna get real dark, and like you feel like a cold rush in, and her she gets unnaturally strong and shakes Gerald off of her, and in like a very demonic voice says, "Go away or you are going to die."
Okay. So
And
as you were getting unnaturally strong and trying to shake Gerald off, Gerald's eyes glowed red and was like, "We were warned about this," and throws a powder in your face and you go unconscious.
What? Ezra sees this and is going to transform physically and is going to transform into the beast.
Okay, so two of the other individuals also transform into beast.
Okay.
Your landlord has run away at this point.
I imagine so. I mean, Ezra is going to take an inhibited move and will pick a fight.
as Ezra does.
So does Gunther turn into a beast
Gunther
too?
does not. So
Okay.
It's just there.
yes. So with Gunther's situation, we'll get to that. Gunther does not. Gunther can choose to run or choose to stay. That is up to him.
What the hell is going on?
Shoot. I can't. Persephone's like unconscious.
Yes. Persephone is unconscious. Gerald has taken her and is going down the stairs and out the building.
So when the two
Who took me? I'm unconscious and being carried away?
Yes.
Sounds like it.
What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, Gunther's gonna try to protect Persephone and see if he's gonna be like, "Hey, what's going on? This is not what we were supposed to be doing here. I don't think so."
That is sweet of Gunther. I'm sorry. Oh no, actually, no. So, oh no, because one of the moves of the setting.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh
One
no!
of the moves
No!
of the setting. Oh no! While we have set this up, I'm so. One of the moves of the setting is to kill one of the NPCs. Oh no, why did we set this up that way?
I don't know.
Jesse, you went a whole new way.
Yeah.
I have a whole plan for this.
This is what I mentioned.
I didn't do this.
None of this is what I said to you. None of it. I'm here for the ride, though.
Well, okay.
We don't have to kill him, though.
You're doing it. We don't have to.
He's just gonna
We
be
could, but we don't have to.
He's also going to be knocked unconscious.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I forgot about that
Fine,
move.
Gunther will be perfectly fine other than all of the smoking.
Okay, except for his lungs, which
Yeah,
he
but
purposely messes up with the cigar.
yeah, but as Gerald,
Yeah, so Gunther's gonna like do his best to try to fight them off
Yeah.
to save Persephone, and then powder gets in his face and he goes unconscious. And so he's left in the hallway.
Oh god.
I feel like you should kill them.
I do too. You should stick with It is the
So
move.
okay, it's okay.
Should we kill
Okay.
him?
Well, okay.
Well, it
Gunther
says
will be
it's-
left unconscious in the hall.
It says
And-
kill or
but-
subvert. You don't have to necessarily
okay.
kill.
Okay, because
But
I
don't
like
you-
Gunther.
I do too.
So, okay, so Gunther bravely goes and tries to protect Persephone, and Gerald, with unnatural strength, pushes him to the side. He does fall unconscious, and we do not know what happens to Gunther at this moment.
Oh no.
Ah, I like it. Leave it up to mystery.
Okay, so that leaves Ezra with two others who are currently unnamed, and that's okay. And they also are in beast form.
Great.
Jessica and Thomas.
Okay, two others, Jessica and Thomas, who also are in beast form. So, yeah, so a fight is happening at this time. Because there are two of them and we are in a narrow hallway, it's easy for them to corner Ezra. And okay, yeah. And in doing so, able to get some restraints on Ezra, which are made of an unknown material, but feel like something you can't break even in your current state.
Oh, great. Okay.
And so, okay. So between the two of them, they're able to get these shackles on your arms and on your legs.
So that sounds like put walls of bureaucracy, etiquette, or law in the way.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they take you downstairs. Down there, you see two vehicles. One is like a horse and buggy, one is a car.
Do we
Did
have
they
cars?
have cars at that time?
No.
No, okay.
But like
So-
a horse, like a cop,
one is-
like a cop horse.
Yeah, one is a cop. One is a cop horse. The other one is fancier.
One's a cop horse and one's fancier.
This is great.
One is a cop car and one's
Okay. Okay.
So one's like a horse and like
Yeah.
buggy, but the buggy is like a
Jail.
thing, is a jail.
Yes.
And the other one's a fancy horse and buggy.
Yes.
I'm gonna pee.
Okay.
Do you need a break?
All right. We have 30 minutes left.
I can do this.
Okay.
So
Oh, what happens next?
okay, so in the police one, they put you in, and as they're putting you in, Gerald explains that they are from the Criminal Investigation Department of the Scotland Yard, established in 1878.
Okay.
Established in 1878. All right.
Okay.
I did some research.
Great. I love it.
Nice. Yeah. Kavi's
okay.
cheering you on in the
So
background.
it's just okay. So
Cop
Yeah.
horse is really proud of you.
And the regulars from the Queen's Head were part of the Scotland Yard's plainclothes officers that Rowan has to make sure things don't get too rowdy or too dangerous in the Queen's Head, and to make sure that everyone is safe, because she's trying to run a reputable business and she has them there to protect people, to protect her workers, because if clientele do something, they will be available to help.
Ezra hears the beast say in her head, "I'm going to kill them all." And Ezra says out loud, "Where's Persephone?"
So in the nicer one, you think you might see the silhouette of Persephone, but the door opens and out comes Ambrose Mara, who is Persephone.
And cutscene. Cliffhanger.
Well,
also
one else
Rowan
knows
was in
who
that.
Ambrose is.
Yeah. But so should I explain who Ambrose is?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So Ambrose Mara is Persephone's father. And Rowan is also in this nicer buggy because Rowan, you ended up at the Queen's Head. Rowan recognized you for Persephone. They make it a point to know important figures, and you were able to stay at the Queen's Head as long as you were under Rowan's care, as long as you were protected, as long as there were check-ins with Ambrose. But after tonight, we no longer had that.
I just left because I was mad.
Exactly.
Rowan sucks. But Persephone's unconscious, so
Yeah. But Rowan's goal is to make sure those under them are taken care of, and you are acting in ways outside of their control, so they couldn't ensure that Persephone was taken care of.
So when Ambrose gets out of the other carriage, what does he do?
So Ambrose steps out of the carriage looking very dapper, very put together, and looks at Ezra and says, "So this is the one. This is the one that has their sights set on my daughter. Well, at least we can run some experiments. From what I have heard, there is something different about this one's beast. So, well, we will make do. And then we can dispose of them as need be."
Let's say then Inspector James Monroe shakes hands with Ambrose Mara and says, "Thank you for this tip," before getting on the front of the carriage and whips it so that they take Ezra off to Scotland Yard or the jail or
Yeah. Damn.
Oof.
Yeah.
Jesse, stop it. Ugh.
You asked me to run the room.
The beast is just monitoring over and over that we're gonna kill them all over and over again. That's the whole way to the jail. That's what the beast is saying.
Persephone's demon is concocting schemes. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that was okay. Well, end scene.
Wow.
And scene.
Okay. Damn, dude. I had no idea what you were doing.
Surprises for everyone tonight.
You asked me to capture Ezra.
We did. Yes. I was like, this isn't what we talked about.
I know. I mean, but we got there.
But we did.
Like...
It was great. It was great. Let's
yeah.
Let's
debrief.
Let's do our debrief.
Let's debrief. So let's just go. Let's just go in the order we started. So I think it was Jesse, Tinio, myself, and then Hallie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the first question is: as your character, answer: is there an event from today's session that will stick with you until next time?
Well, Baka wasn't.
How does that feel?
Well, Baka wasn't here for any of this, but I think the poem,
yes,
is what will definitely stick for next time.
How How does Bako feel about the poem?
Baco has a lot of feelings and doesn't know. A lot of them are feelings that they haven't experienced in so long that they they haven't had the time to process all of it. And so they're
Okay.
hopeful. The feelings are very hopeful.
Great.
Tennille.
Tennille?
Yes, sorry. Trying to find, I have so many tabs up. I'm like trying to find the right tab. Okay. So we're just gonna go question by question. Okay, is there an event from today's session that will stick with me until next time? How does that feel? I mean, the how Baco responded to the poem was better than Kavi had hoped. So that will stick with them for a while. But I think the highlight for Kavi was really diagramming Ezra's soul. That's definitely going to stick with them for quite a while. They're just like, success. And those are always so good, especially when they work so hard for them.
Definitely. Is that your answer?
Yep,
Okay.
that's my answer.
Okay. Is there an event from today's session that will stick with you until next time? Well, I feel like a lot happened to Ezra. But I think we will go. I think Ezra is going to think about think about the intimate moments spent with Persephone while they are clearly being experimented on. So,
Well,
Wait, the intimate moment while they were being experimented?
no, no.
Oh,
I'm assuming Ezra's going to be like poked and prodded next session.
oh. Okay.
So, however, Ezra is thinking about the intimate moments spent with Persephone. And
at least she got some loving before that happened.
Got a lot of loving. Apparently.
Carnally intimate. Yeah. Ezra feels whole.
Aww, that's so sweet. Sorry.
Go ahead, Hallie.
Is there an event from today's session that? Yes, all of them. Like after our last session, Kayla and I were like going crazy with ideas, and Jessie she followed the plan, but made it her own.
Yeah.
For their own, obvious, like as Jessie does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would say the one that stuck with I really like the events. I like Persephone coming into the experiment and like trying to just be there for Ezra. Because Persephone wanted Ezra to accept themselves as they are. Because Persephone accepts. And then I think that she has allowed Ezra to protect her so much that she really wanted to be able to protect her. And so like trying to be there during the experiment, but then also being like, let me open the door. I don't feel good about this. And yeah. And how does she feel? She feels loved. She feels like she's close to being who she wants to be. Very close, but there's a lot of unresolved things. That's my answer.
Next one. The next question is, as your character, do you have any worries or fears after the events of this session?
Yes.
Yes.
Why should you be afraid? You're just in shackles. being sent away to be experimented on.
Baco.
Yeah, but
Nothing
Baco,
scary about that.
so for Baco, the answer is yes, but because we captured a creature, but also we're doing experiments, it seems like we might be coming close to figuring out what this is going on and like having to deal with whatever this ultimate evil is. And then there are worries of, okay, if we do that, what comes next? Should I even bother thinking about what's next? So a lot of fears and worries around what might happen next. Because again, Bago has no idea about any of this stuff.
I think that Kavi is worried about, just worried about the Scotland Yard and what's going on. It will be a while before Kavi knows, I'm sure, about what happened with Ezra. But
And
I'm
Persephone.
sure,
Yeah.
and Persephone.
I mean, how's it? I don't know how either of you are gonna find out.
Yeah,
Gunther!
I'm not
I'm
sure.
so glad he's still alive! Maybe!
Anyways,
We
go ahead, Tina.
Don't know. Yeah, I think the fear for Kavi is if they'll be able to come up with a way to change the beasts to protect the community. So Kavi's going to be doing their best to look at the creature that was brought to them and as ethically as they can attempt to learn more about weaknesses and strengths and things of that matter.
All right. Do you have any word? Oh my. Yes. Ezra and the Beast are collectively worried about Persephone. Because they are familiar with Ambrose Morrow.
And Persephone is unconscious, but yes, very worried. Especially since she now knows about Scotland Yard being after them. I don't think she knows yet, or no, Ezra did tell her about what they found, so yeah, she's but I think ultimately she'll be the most worried about Ezra. And also, what the fuck is her dad doing? Like, what the fuck, man? Sorry.
Right. Answer as your character. Do you feel seen by others after the events of today's session?
Yes. Like Baku feels very seen by Kavi and very surprised that there's a possibility of having love in their life again.
Yeah, Kavi definitely feels seen. I think, Kavi is a very intellectual type of person, but they are also incredibly romantic. And so they had it in their idea, in their mind. I'm going to profess my declarations of admiration for my colleague, and they may not reciprocate, and that's all right. But at least I've declared them and let the chips fall where they may. So, yeah. So, and it didn't turn out so badly. So that's good.
I'd say it's a success.
Yeah. And I think that, Kavi feels seen definitely by Ezra, and that Ezra, trusted them to help support her. And I would say they feel seen by Persephone in a completely different, unsettling and slightly creepy way, with some
That's how it was
denial.
intended.
Yes, with denial stripped in, for sure. Yeah.
Ezra does feel seen by others. Most Ezra feels seen by everyone, considering they were all at the experiment. But then on like a more deeper level, feels seen by Persephone.
And Persephone, I would say that this might be the first time that she allowed others to see her. So before they didn't necessarily have the opportunity. So yeah, she does feel seen, and she's trying to make it a point to be seen, whereas in the past she wouldn't do that. In the past she let other people have power over her, and she's done with that. But especially with Ezra, like she's done playing a part. She wants to be who she is, and Ezra's
Nice.
always accepted that.
Yeah. And I just want to say that I was a little surprised by everyone's reaction, but it was great to see your reaction, because I was just like, I can't wait to see how they're gonna react to this poem. So that was
It
pretty
was lovely.
It was
Yeah.
lovely.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
cute.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I worked hard on it.
And what surprised you about today's play? So let's do them together as the player. Let's do them together. What surprised you about today's play, and what did you appreciate about your play or someone else's play?
I guess, excuse me. What surprised me was just seeing seeing the growth in all of the relationships just between everyone, and just how, like, from when we started to now, which in game is about a month or so later, and it's just like, oh, we've grown a lot in terms of how the characters interact and like understand each other. And I don't know, it did really surprise me. I'm not sure why it surprised me, but it like really surprised me just seeing all of the character interactions. And what I really appreciated was like the willingness to go different places. And even when it's like, oh, what are we doing now? Is this according to plan? But then also like the preparedness, especially to deal with like the poem, and then with the different vials, and like each vial felt a different way and looked a different way. And so all of that, like all of the planning, and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised by a lot of things today. I was surprised by the inspector showing up at Kavi's porch. I really liked it because I would say that a lot of Kavi's moves, like the inhibited moves, a lot of them are like kind of mean and like negative, and I'm like, I don't really want to present Kavi in that way. You know, like in my head, like you know, people see Kavi as pretentious, but Kavi is not actually pretentious. And they don't actually like look down upon people who don't have the same education as them. But in that situation, it was perfect. It was perfect for them to just lash out and just try to make the Scotland Yard feel small. That was fun. I really liked that actually, and I was like, I kind of wish I could do that again and come up with even more articulate words to just like make him feel like a dumbass.
You have other opportunities to make a man feel like a dumbass.
Yes.
In
Yes,
this game.
yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, I would say that I appreciated the inspector for sure. But you know, I also appreciated the scene in the factory basement. That was kind of cool, and the scene between Ezra and Persephone, and my heart will go on. Um, just all of the moments, all of the feelings. Like everyone was wonderful, and I had no idea what Jesse was doing. Jesse was like, "Let's have Gunther in the scene," and then like people are turning into beasts, and I'm like, "What is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?" I was like, "Gunther's not a beast, right?"
Yeah.
So I like, you know, in my head, I'm thinking he had no idea that things were going to go down like that. Like he thought it was just going to be a conversation. Like that's what they told him. And I don't know, maybe they hoped to turn him into a beast and it just didn't happen. I don't know. But yeah, I appreciated everyone today. Awesome job, guys.
I was surprised. Jesse took that whole scene in a complete in a different direction. The same results, just different directions. So I was like, what's going on? Yeah, so that surprised me. And what did I appreciate about your play or someone else's play today? I think it was pretty cool to see Hallie using more of Persephone's like power moves. Because we haven't really gotten to see Persephone in that capacity.
Thanks. Is that your answer?
It is.
Cool. Surprised me about today's play. Everything. Like all of it. It was so good. I think that it really shows how excited we were after the last session. And I hope it's exciting for other people because it's like I can feel it and it's like I love it. So everything was very surprising. Even the things that I was hoping to work out, like were surprising their own, like Jesse, you know what? Fine, you win. Okay. This isn't even a game that you can win, but good job. You won, okay? So I did for myself, I appreciated that I felt much more comfortable doing the setting this time. For belonging outside belonging games. I felt a lot better about that. And something I appreciate about other people's play. Oh man. Like everything. Sorry. I like that you guys let me play Reginald the way I did. Because I was feeling a little weird and I really just wanted something funny. But he was great. And I like that Kavi and Persephone, they have mostly just been in their own little silos. Like Persephone's been at the Queen's Head and Kavi's been in her lab, and they were actually like we saw more interaction this time. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Snacky snacks.
Snack and chicky nuggies.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice when we have like bits of humor like throughout.
Okay.
Like,
I'm glad it's appreciated.
Yes.
I like can't get through a serious game without doing it.
Yes. Are we ready to do goodbye to player?
Yes.
All right. Start with Jesse.
So I'm Jessie.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
And I play Baco.
Good night, Baco.
Good night, Baco.
Good night,
In
Baco.
reverse.
It's okay.
Whatevs.
I've been Kavi, the scholar.
Good night, Kavi.
Good night, Kavi.
Night, Kavi.
And I'm Tennille. Night, everyone.
Good night,
night,
Tennille.
Tennille.
I play Ezra.
Good night, Ezra.
Good night,
Good night,
Ezra.
Ezra.
Stay warm.
And I'm Kayla.
Good night, Kayla.
Good night,
Okay.
Kayla.
And I am Persephone.
Good night,
Good night,
Persephone.
Good night, Persephone.
And I'm Hallie.
Good night,
Good
Hallie.
night,
Good night,
Hallie.
Hallie.
I'd like to read our. I wrote a few. Good.
Take it away.
Me?
Yep.
Okay, so this has been Gaze of Our Lives. Find out next time. Maybe you'll find this out. Who knows? How will Baco and Kavi find out what happened to Ezra and Persephone? Will Ezra and Persephone escape? Will Gunther be okay? Who is or was the creature? And who is Horse Cop?
I think it's cop
And-
horse.
Cop horse,
Horse
police
cop.
cop.
I don't know. You
horse-
know.
Who is
what
horse
is a
cop?
horse cop?
And like dice through the dice tower, these are the gaze of our lives.
Thanks for rooting
Thanks.
for me, y'all.
Thanks.
Gunther, Gunther.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.